Why am I dressed as a monk?
Because today you're a scribe. You copy books by hand, one page at a time. And you are the only way knowledge moves. In about 7 minutes, a plague and a wine press are going to delete your entire profession, and then blow up the most powerful institution in Europe.
Can I at least finish this sentence?
Nobody finishes the sentence. Let me show you how the deadliest disaster in history accidentally built the machine that never stops talking. Here is your job. A single Bible takes one scribe about 3 years to copy. The ink is expensive. The skin is worse. A big Bible could eat the hides of 170 calves.
So the good book was, accounting-wise, a barbecue.
Books are rare, priceless, and chained to desks. And you, the scribe, are the bottleneck the entire world depends on. Then, in 1347, 12 ships dock in Sicily. Most of the sailors are already dead. The Black Death kills roughly 40% of Europe in 5 years. In some regions, half. It is the single worst thing that has ever happened to our species.
And this helps me how, exactly?
It doesn't help you. It helps the survivors. When half the workers die, the ones left standing suddenly have something they've never had before. Leverage. For the first time in history, a common laborer can walk to the next village and say, "Pay me more or I leave." Wages climb. Parliament panics and passes a law literally commanding wages back to what they were before the plague.
The economy? Simply tell it no, has never failed once.
The law fails. Real wages for ordinary English workers rise to a peak so high it will not be beaten again until the 1880s. A whole class of ordinary people is, for the first time, not poor. And people with spare money and spare time do a dangerous thing. They learn to read. In the trading cities, 1/3 of people can read. They want books. They want news. They want more than one scribe can ever make.
So the plague didn't kill me. It just gave everyone a reason to replace me.
The plague didn't print a single page, Stan. It did something worse. It manufactured the customers. Enter a debt-ridden goldsmith in mine named Johannes Gutenberg. Everyone tells the story wrong. He did not invent printing. China had movable type 400 years earlier. Korea cast it in bronze. What Gutenberg invented was a system. A hand mold to cast identical metal letters by the thousand. An oil-based ink that sticks to metal. And, to press it all together, a modified wine press.
Civilization's turning point was a machine for squeezing grapes.
The result? A book that took a scribe 3 years now takes days. Identical, cheap, endless. You, the bottleneck, have just been deleted. But the machine has to pay for itself. So Gutenberg's very first bestseller is not the Bible. It's a pre-printed receipt, sold by the church, that promises to shorten your time in purgatory. An indulgence.
So the church invented the printer to sell get-out-of-hell coupons.
Thousands of them. Identical, printed to fund a war. The most powerful institution on earth had just handed the cheapest, fastest copying machine ever built its very first paying job. And here is the money shot of all of history. A machine that can print one identical page 1,000 times does not care whose page it is. 60 years later, a monk in Germany named Martin Luther gets angry about those very indulgences. He writes 95 complaints and, the story goes, nails them to a door.
A door. Very scary. The church has definitely survived worse than carpentry.
Except this time, the complaints don't stay on the door. Someone drops them into a printing press. Within 2 months, Luther's words are all over Germany. Within 2 years, all over Europe. 300,000 copies. The church had faced angry monks for 1,000 years and always won because it controlled who could copy a page. It had just personally funded the machine that took that power away. You cannot unprint an idea.
The receipt printer printed the receipt for its own funeral.
The cheap, copyable thing beat the expensive, handmade one, and erased the institution that built it. That is the whole of history. And it never stops happening. Next time, a bitter little bean arrives in Europe, and sober, caffeinated people start arguing in public rooms for the first time. They accidentally invent the newspaper, the stock market, and the argument you're about to leave in the comments.
I'm the bean guy too, aren't I?
Nobody finishes the sentence, Stan.